How would it feel to have a thriving fitness business and have the freedom to enjoy life at the fullest? Well, that is exactly what the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Show is going to give you. My name is Mathew Park. This is Jaime Filer.
Hey guys.
And we are here to serve.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Trainer Revenue Multiplier podcast. I am joined today by the TRM head tech engineer. I say head because now you have a team under you. You're not just the TRM engineer, you're the boss of the other engineers. Laurent, how are you doing?
Jaime, I'm doing fantastic. It's an absolute honor to be here. It's been a while since I've been part of the podcast here with you. So very happy to be here.
Heck yeah, my friend. Heck yeah. So great to have you. So let's talk about, because your specialty has always been in technology. You know all of the ins and outs. You're the head of the TRM engine, which is really the lifeline, the lifeblood of a lot of trainers' systems. Talk to us about what systems within a fitness business mean.
The way I like to see it is the systems are really the coach's vehicle. So, and the systems, and the reason it's called the TRM engine is it's really a vehicle. Because what makes the difference between a personal trainer or online coach different than a fitness business owner is the systems that are in place, right? And when you make this shift in your mindset that, okay, awesome, I'm a personal trainer, I'm an online fitness coach, but I want more freedom. I want to build and scale my business properly. Then you start understanding, well, I'm going to need systems, right? I'm going to need to start delegating and automating. And so basically you're going to need a vehicle, right? You're going to need a vehicle because you're trying to get to a certain destination, but you don't yet have the vehicle or the systems to get there, right? Yeah. So the way I like to see systems is, that's it. It's the vehicle. It's the ride that you're going to take to get to your destination.
I like that. So what common problems do you feel like once they're in it? What common problems do in-person coaches and online trainers have when they don't have a system, when they don't have a vehicle?
Oh, well, when personal trainers and online fitness coaches don't have this vehicle, don't have their systems streamlined and organized, usually they're going to feel a lot of overwhelm. They're going to have to do a lot of things manually, send repetitive emails and communications to their clients.
Yep.
And they're going to have a lot to think about, right? A lot of little tasks that they need to do, like booking consultations, doing the back and forth. They're going to have to send a welcome email to a client.
To every client.
To every new client. They're going to have to remind the contact of their appointments with them. Hey, are we still good? And so on and so forth. So what happens when you don't have those little things automated, all this mouse and keyboard stuff automated, is you become very overwhelmed, and it's very easy to burn yourself out. And the thing is, ideally a coach would only or mostly focus on front end marketing, be the image of their own business, right? Speak to their people, right? But then they can't do it, and they're held back because of all those little things they need to do. And then they just start to feel drained, and they don't know why, right? Yeah. And that's when usually TRM comes in. Hey, coaching, education, and obviously systems, right? Yeah. So we shed light on what it is they need. So that's why I love our business model,
So the way you described it is perfect, Laurent. It takes a lot of the tasks that you have to do more than once off your hands, right? It saves you time. It saves you a lot of repetition as well, sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, how can you make systems personal if you're not doing them?
How can you make systems personal if you're not doing them? You mean like
How
building?
how do you bring heart to automations?
Well, every automated system is always a manual task that you've been doing first.
Okay.
So the reason we automate things is because we realize that, hey, I always do this specific task the exact same way, right? So if I can find a way to keep the soul, keep the essence, keep the human touch of that experience, of that task, but just find a way to automate it, then you're going to free yourself, right? Because you won't be doing this task anymore, but also it's going to keep that essence and that human touch. Here's an example.
Just gonna ask. Good. Yeah.
I want to send, Jamie, you're my new client, and I want to welcome you on board. Now, I love typing out my welcome email. Maybe right now I'm copying it and pasting it into my Gmail account and sending it out. And there's this warm welcome, right? There's this welcome video link maybe that I put in there, and so on and so forth. And it's very human and it's personalized, and there's the next steps and so on. So that email is very human, right? Yeah. And we're going to keep that. But the only thing is, now instead of having to manually do that, we're just going to copy and paste this email, set it up in the TRM engine, and then all you have to do is 1 or 2 clicks, and then this email goes out automatically, but still in a very human way, or the way you would normally do it, with your own flavor and and energy. Yep.
I love that. I guess the next question is going to be, what is the first system you set up for someone, or does it depend on the person as soon as they come to you with a need?
The first system we usually set up is going to be the coach's application funnel.
Okay.
So first off, a funnel, right? What is a funnel? Just for description, right? For definition, the way I like to see a funnel as the systems guy is a funnel is a very simple web page that does a specific job. And the job of the coaching application funnel is to invite your clients to apply for coaching with you. There's usually a form, an application form, which asks the contacts about their goals, why it's important for them, how ready they are to commit, right? And if they're willing to invest time, finances, energy into that. So that's step 1 is the form. And then as soon as the contact fills out this form, they're redirected to step 2, which is the calendar, right?
Yeah.
So the contact schedules on your calendar. They get automated booking confirmation, very human, with your own sauce there. Email and SMS through the engine, and then they get reminders 24 hours and 1 hour before. So the basic gist is, when we equip our coaches with that, and streamline it for them, brand it, make it them, then what that does for our coaches is they now have this one link that they can send to anyone who expresses interest in working with them.
Yeah.
And it bridges the gap between, okay, this person is interested, and now we're talking, we're on a consultation.
Okay. So Laurent, that sounds incredible. And again, like you're making my life easier, but also I see where the personal touch comes in, because now, I guess if we jump forward 2 steps, I have all this information you've given me on the application, which I can then use to talk to you about when we book our call, right?
Mm-hmm.
That being said, what you just described may have gone over a lot of people's heads. Like even the fact that you had to, what's the word I'm looking for? Explain what a funnel was or an application page. Do you have to be a tech wizard to use systems?
No, you don't have to be a tech wizard. And that's when we come in. You remember I was saying see your business like a vehicle, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Jamie, are you a mechanic?
Absolutely not. No.
Can you drive a car?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Okay, sir. Yeah.
And that's it. So you don't need to be a mechanic to drive a car.
Yep.
We are the mechanics. We understand how everything is wired. We understand how how the ignition works and how everything, comes together. But you don't have to. You don't have to know that. And that's the power of what we do in TRM is, and especially in that systems department of ours. We're like the garage for all of you guys. And you just take your vehicle in our garage and we fix it for you. And then you're back on.
Yeah.
I had this image of a Formula One, those race car drivers, they're driving super fast. And now they stop on the sideline to get I don't know, the tires changed and whatever oil they need. And so
stop. Yeah.
It takes like 1.5 seconds and it's fixed. Right.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's kind of how I see it. It's like, okay, you guys are running the show. You guys are crushing it out there. Right. Just come see us when you need a little fixed. Awesome. Let's go. Keep performing. Let's go.
So smart. So, follow-up question to that is, let's say for the trainer who is not looking for an application yet, what is another example of a system that in the nurturing process, rather than the onboarding process, you could use with a client?
Absolutely. So when you talk about nurturing, there's two types of nurturing, right? There's lead nurturing, so people who are not yet clients, and there's active client nurturing for retention, right? So was there one in particular you wanted to?
Sorry, retention. So I want to make sure that the people I already have in my ecosystem are happy.
Absolutely. So there are many ways you can do this. The first tool you really want to make sure you have is a contact database. Right? You want to make sure that you at least know how many active clients you have.
Yep.
And you want to make sure you have their names, their contact information, so that you can be in touch with them, right? And then retention is where it gets very human, right? Retention is about relationship building. Totally. So number one, you want to make sure that your contacts are supported, right? So whenever they need support, you want to make sure that they know how to reach out to you. So having a clear method of communication for your support is essential. So that would be number one. And then number two would be keep providing them with value and updates. It's your role as the coach to know, hey, what the trends are, what's happening, right? And to identify where they might be on their journey and to equip them with what they're going to need to keep thriving on their journey. And then number three would be, I had it on the tip of my tongue there. Hold up. It's going to come back. But yeah, those two would be essential. But what it comes down to is, first off, as far as system, like tech-wise, you really want to have a contact database that is properly segmented there.
Brilliant.
Number three will most likely come back.
That's fine. If you need to interrupt me to come back to it, that's fine, Laurent. We're good.
Sweet. If not, send me a DM. Maybe I'll have remembered then.
Yeah. So I gotta say, I'm loving this car analogy. Not being a mechanic myself, but knowing that how to drive a car. I want to go to routine maintenance, because I know that every 5,000 miles, I have to bring my car in for an oil change. Every 200,000 miles, I'm probably going to need a new car. How often do you, with the people of TRM or just in general, do you audit the efficacy of someone's system in order to upgrade or overhaul it altogether?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I think I think obviously you always want to have an outlook on what's going on system wise, right, in your business. And there are so many different parts of a fitness coaching business that one could imagine, right? When you, especially for you, for example, your business has have a team of coaches. There's multiple layers. There's the client applications, right? How the clients are going to apply. There's your website and funnel. How is that going to work? But to narrow it down to one example, your website, for example. How often should you maintain your website or your coaching application funnel? I would say once every quarter or two would be a good time to not necessarily like overhaul it, but audit it, right? Yeah. Hey, is the messaging on my website, is what I'm putting out there still a good reflection of who I am, what my business stands for, what my values are? Because those may evolve, those may grow in time. And so the wording needs to reflect that, you know. Yeah, because of consistency, right? It always needs to be consistent, based on your vision and so on. So yeah, so I would say once every quarter or two is probably the best time to come for a pit stop for a systems review and so on. Yeah.
Yep. Great answer. Great answer. But also I think similar to almost anything, if there's an idea out there that you see that you like, update it right away. Like if you currently don't have a financial qualifying question on your application page or a spousal qualifying question, change it today. Don't wait until Q3, like go do something about it, because it would be an upgraded, elevated, easier for you version of your application, right?
Yep, exactly. It's an ever evolving process. So just as much as you want to audit like bigger parts of those, there are little connections like those, like little things that move, little hinges that open big doors that you can already apply. Yeah, if you can do that, you absolutely do it. For sure.
The other one I will say, Laurent, like back in the day, you and I made an application, and I was going over it, and I realized that it was in 2021 when I had frosted tips, and I thought that was a good idea. And I said, I have to upgrade that system because the VSL is 2 years old, 2.5 years old. So again, it speaks to like the chronology. Do you look different? Did you have a partner in a video back then, but now you're just a solopreneur? Like, who's in your business, on your business, that kind of thing. So that's also important to consider.
Yeah, of course. The analogy I like for that is like milk the cow. Okay, we set up a funnel. There's a video on it. Milk the cow, promote it, talk about it. Your messaging is on point. It redirects to the funnel. The funnel reflects that messaging. It's on point. It flows. You're getting results. You're making sales. You're onboarding new clients. There's momentum. And then when it starts drying out, because you've milked the cow, basically, now it's like, okay, well, let me just check. Let me just let me audit it, right? So, and so if you want to be proactive, it's once every quarter or two that you just look at the strategy, what kind of results have we been having. But then also, if it starts just drying up or there's no momentum, then it's a good time to rework your systems. Yep.
Perfect. So one thing I will say that you mentioned briefly, and I do want to address this to make it a little bit more personal, guys, the biggest difference that systems have made in my business is the ability to put all of my coaches under one umbrella. So that way, honestly, I don't have to worry about micromanaging clients, conversations, sales funnels. Through the TRM engine, I have access to all 5 coaches. Not that I would do this, but conversations. Because what if, God forbid, a client gets in a disagreement? They ask for a refund. They tell me that there's some sort of HR violation. In seeing all conversations under the umbrella of the engine, because Laurent has given me subcontractors, I can keep my business together. I can micromanage, again, not that I would, but it streamlines conversations with 5 different people, which is huge. So Laurent, that would be the biggest difference you for sure made with Filer Fitness.
Well, thanks for those flowers. I appreciate it, and you've done a good job executing. And I think like when it's time to implement systems, the best quality you can have as a coach is being willing to learn and implement the systems and allowing things to be put in motion for you, right? And then being put in motion. That's another analogy I want to talk about. But yes, you see how everything is in one place. Not only your client roster, but also your coaches, your team's roster as well. So you can oversee everything that's going on in your business. And you've grown from like this, single fighter jet spaceship to this mothership, this big like spaceship where like everyone has their roles, and so on and so forth. And you can still oversee everything. You still you're in the captain's chair, and you see the direction, where you're going, and then you can, and everything that's going on in the ship, and people can report to you. And also you are there to serve them and help them if they need help. And it creates like this beautiful atmosphere, which is amazing. Yeah.
That's perfect. Laurent, it's funny because my last question to you would be, what piece of advice would you give to new coaches who are nervous about systems, or existing coaches who want to upgrade your systems? And you actually gave two. One was, don't be scared of systems, because they're not that complicated. You don't have to be an expert. They will make your life easier, and you can maintain the personal touch, but also you can begin anywhere, right? Is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is a huge topic on its own, for sure. But not being scared of implementing systems, going for it, but also finding the information that's valuable, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So when you think of building systems for your fitness coaching business, it's not only having a website. It's not only a single independent pieces. No, it's actually a whole that you're building, right? It's and that website, this calendar, they all come into play at some point in your system. So getting the proper education on systems, and heck, being one of our clients, I want to say become one of our clients, because it's the best thing you can do. You can come to our garage, you can get the knowledge and accountability, for sure. Totally. But yeah, just get the education, get those systems, part of those systems built for you. If you're a serious fitness professional and you know that you have the potential to scale, you should already start want to delegate those little things, because you need to focus on more important things than all of that stuff. So that's what I'd say. However, don't be scared, but doing it alone is not the absolute best way to do it.
Yeah. So Laurent, where can people find you if this podcast inspired them and they are finally ready to take the leap, at least to ask more questions about systems to you?
100%. So you can reach out to me on Instagram. I go by @laurent.dt. So you can find me there. You can ask me all kinds of systems questions and so on and so forth. It's important to mention that the systems that I build with my team are for TRM members only. So if you want to, learn how to build your business and get the education, the coaching, accountability, and systems you're going to need, then the best way is just to go through the TRM, business assessment, for sure.
Amazing. Awesome. Guys, we are at Trainer Revenue Multiplier. I am at Jaime91. We appreciate you being here. If you liked what you heard today, please make sure you rate, share, subscribe, comment, send us a message. We love hearing from you and want to make sure that we serve you in every way possible. So until the next episode, have the best rest of your day.
See ya.